They thought it was a dream home, but what they got was a living nightmare. This is the true story behind The Conjuring, the haunting of the Perron family. It was January 1971. Roger and Carolyn Perron, along with their 5 daughters, Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and April, moved into a 14-room farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island. The estate was historic, peaceful, picturesque, but from the very first day, something fell off. Doors creaked open on their own. Cold spots lingered even with the furnace on. And the family's dog, Sadie, refused to enter the house. Just a day later, Sadie was found dead. At first, the hauntings were mild. Brooms moved, furniture shifted. Carolyn would hear scraping sounds in the kitchen at night. When she went to check, nothing. April, the youngest daughter, began speaking to someone invisible, someone she called Oliver. But things quickly escalated. The children reported hearing whispers and laughter when no one else was around. Doors slammed shut on their own. Beds shook in the middle of the night. Cindy, one of the middle daughters, was terrified. Something was visiting her at night, something angry. The basement, dark and stone-walled, held the most oppressive energy. The family would avoid it, except Roger, who had to go down to fix the furnace. Every time he reported hearing faint murmurs, men speaking softly as if in conversation. But no one else was there. Carolyn began noticing bruises on her body, deep, purple marks she couldn't explain. And at night, she would often wake up to find herself levitating off her bed. Desperate and scared, the parents reached out to famed paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens arrived and quickly realized this was no ordinary haunting. Lorraine, a clairvoyant and trance medium, said the house was a psychic soup filled with restless, tormented spirits. But one spirit stood out the most, the one that hated Carolyn Perron, a vengeful entity known as Bathsheba Sherman. According to Lorraine's visions and historical research, Bathsheba was a local woman who lived in the mid-1800s. She was rumored to be a witch and allegedly sacrificed her baby to Satan as part of a ritual. Villagers accused her of witchcraft, but she was never formally convicted. Legend says that before her death, Bathsheba cursed the land, declaring, "Whosoever tries to take my land shall die." Whether fact or folklore, the energy in the house matched Bathsheba's legend. Lorraine believed Bathsheba's spirit had latched onto Carolyn, viewing her as a threat and intruder. The turning point came during a seance conducted by the Warrens. Carolyn Perron had been growing weaker, more withdrawn, emotionally and physically. During the seance, Carolyn suddenly screamed, convulsed, and was thrown across the room by an unseen force. She began speaking in a voice that wasn't hers. Her body twisted unnaturally. Terrified, the Perron children watched as their mother was seemingly taken over by something not of this world. Roger Perron, protective and skeptical, ended the seance. He demanded the Warrens leave, believing they'd made things worse. Though the Warrens departed, the hauntings didn't stop immediately. The family continued to experience paranormal events for years. Eventually, in 1980, they were able to move out. According to Andrea Perron, the eldest daughter, the house was never cleansed. The spirits simply grew quiet. Andrea would later write a trilogy titled House of Darkness, House of Light, detailing their experiences. She claimed they weren't just haunted, but changed forever. Released in 2013, The Conjuring became an instant horror classic. Directed by James Wan, it dramatized the Perron family's haunting with chilling accuracy and Hollywood flair. But what did the film get right? White heavy checkmark the Warrens were real paranormal investigators. White heavy checkmark the Perron family did live in the Harrisville farmhouse. White heavy checkmark Carolyn experienced terrifying physical attacks. White heavy checkmark Bathsheba Sherman was a real person. However, some parts were exaggerated for cinematic effect. Crossmark the movie shows a full-blown exorcism. In real life, the seance was never sanctioned by the church. Crossmark Bathsheba's confirmed link to Satanism has never been proven. Crossmark the ending of the movie, where the family is saved in a single night, didn't happen. The parents lived in that house for nearly a decade before moving. The Perron sisters, now adults, have spoken in multiple interviews. Andrea, in particular, stands by every word. She describes seeing spirits, full-bodied apparitions, and feeling the emotional toll of years of terror. According to her, we were never alone, ever. The spirits lived with us. Some were kind, some were angry, and some were just sad. Despite the trauma, Andrea believes the experience gave her a deeper understanding of the spiritual world. The original Harrisville farmhouse still stands today, and yes, it is still haunted. In recent years, it was purchased by paranormal investigators Corey and Jennifer Heinzen. They report continued activity, including voices, phantom footsteps, doors opening on their own. The house is now open for guided investigations and overnight stays, if you dare. The haunting of the Perron family has become one of the most iconic real-life ghost stories in modern history. It sparked the beginning of the Conjuring universe, which now includes Annabelle, The Nun, The Conjuring 2, The Devil Made Me Do It. But at the core of it all remains a single question. Was it real? Or was it the mind's attempt to explain the unexplainable? The haunting of the Perron family isn't just about ghosts and possessions. It's about the blurred line between history and horror, memory and mystery. For the Perrons, the spirits were real. For the skeptics, it was stress, suggestion, and shadows in the dark. But one thing's for sure, the house on Round Top Road has never been ordinary. And even now, something still watches from the shadows. Was it a haunting, or something far worse? You decide. Clapperboard if you found this story fascinating. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real horror and true paranormal investigations. Candle comment below. Would you spend a night in the Perron house?